Hey, this is Matt Hawes, and I'm here with yet another update about the Central Bear Art Credit. But this may be the final one for a good long time, if not altogether, because actually we have finally resolved the issue. That's right, the EVSC and Central and I have all worked out this situation finally. I returned earlier today from going to see the Central Bear Through the Years displays at the Central High School. That's right, displays, because there's one that's by their media center and another one hanging in the gymnasium there. Now, I wish I could say that I felt proud to finally see the public credit and acknowledgement, but after the battle I fought, the resistance I met, and to simply get the EVSC and Central to finally admit that the bear that they've used all these years was actually my artwork, the actual feeling I have is more of vindication. I actually went with my mother. She wanted to go see the display, so she accompanied me to the school. And when we both entered the school, I noticed immediately that the Welcome to Central banner that was there earlier in the year when I went with my nephew, this was one that was at the beginning of the school year. I'm trying to think if it was back in September. Maybe it was August. I think it was in August. And they still had the Central Bear banner out there that said, Welcome to Central, or something to that effect, and it had my bear drawings on that banner. But they had been removed. They had been hanging there, but now they're gone. I noticed that, and I also noticed that on different websites that were connected to the school, and Wikipedia entry for the Evansville Central, and some of the social network pages and other things like that, they've since replaced my bear image. And I just think this might be kind of related to the whole deal where I'll try to seek out my credit. And maybe it's because they think if they continue to use it, I'll still try a claim against them for some financial reason, even though I've said all along that's not what this was about. They're still using the bear images. They haven't been able to remove all traces of it, other than from the display. When I spoke with the secretary when I got there, apparently there was no word given to her about me coming to see the display. She seemed not to be aware, but eventually Paul Neidig and Pamela Height did show up, from the EVSC, and we got that settled. When I spoke with Mr. Neidig, he was cordial enough, but Ms. Height, she was a little bit more cold. I think she kind of still had issues with me because I don't think, frankly, that she liked having to concede that I was right and that they were supposed to give me this, credit. And they arrived and took me to see the displays before the principal arrived. The principal of Central High School here in Evansville, Indiana, at this point is Andrea Campbell. And she hadn't arrived yet, but I asked Mr. Neidig if he would like to pose with me in front of the display, and he declined. I'm sure he didn't really want to be seen, frankly, on my Facebook page or elsewhere, especially after this. It's probably enough for them just that they have to give me acknowledgement at all, because God forbid that they give acknowledgement to a former Central High School student whose work they've used for 3 decades. He did allow me to take pictures of the display and then in the gymnasium, and then him and Mrs. Hyde accompanied me and my mother back to the school offices, where he parted just minutes after Principal Campbell did show up. And Mrs. Campbell, Andrea Campbell, I should say, she was very nice, very receptive and pleasant. She, in stark contrast to the way I was, being treated to a degree by Neidig and certainly by Mrs. Hyde, it was total difference of day and night, because Andrea Campbell was very, very welcoming. She was happy that we were able to finally get this settled, and of course we all agree that the display is really nice, and I enjoy that. I spotted a fabric computer cover on the secretary's desk. They had actually on the desk, there was, I spotted it, there was this cover over, like a computer to keep dust off, what have you, I guess. It actually has a stitched version of my version of the bear, the drawing that I did. I asked Ms. Campbell, the Principal Campbell, if I could take a picture and of this cover with the bear on it, and she allowed me to do so. And so she didn't see why not. Again, Miss Hyde wasn't too happy, but she didn't say nothing, to be honest. But you could just tell by her demeanor. So it appears that, except for a few stray examples, and now for the displays, of course, my drawing of the bear will be retired. I did not receive any official word on that. That's my speculation, but it's pretty obvious, and that's fine. If they continue to use it, that would have been fine by me. I wasn't going to try and go after them again. And if they choose to retire the bear, that's fine too. They can do whatever they want. I'm not going to shed a tear over that. I am very glad this is done, and this is satisfactory to me. I wish I could say I was, it filled me with pride, but again, they robbed me of that. I'm not ever going to see it in that respect. But I am glad that at least they finally acknowledge me. Honestly, they would never have done this. They would never give me the credit if I hadn't fought for it. That much was obvious. In fact, they fought not to give me the credit. So I did. Sometimes you have to be persistent. You have to be that squeaky wheel. Unfortunately, that's the way our society is. And finally, just got them to do the right thing. But it is done, and I finally got the credit. I can accept it, and said that was all this was about, and that is. So I will move on from this point on that matter. But I will say one thing. I got my 30 years of the Central Bear Credit Where Credit Is Due Facebook page, and it won't be retired, actually. What I'm going to do with that page is use it to share other images and stuff, like maybe old Centrillion drawings I did and stuff like that, but also in particular, during the research, whenever I was building up my case against the ABSC, the proof that I drew my bear, I also went through the history, of the school, through the yearbooks and such like that, and I actually got a lot of nice, cool pictures that certainly alumni, my fellow former classmates, and even modern, students and whoever throughout the history, if anybody's got any interest at all in the history of that school, will be interested to see. And even though, again, it's hard to have pride in a school that didn't have pride in me, I still think it's interesting, and I still think that for my own friends and fellow classmates and such, that this would be fun to share. And I've been wanting to share it. I've had these pictures for months now, and I just didn't feel the need to share them until this whole issue with my credit was resolved, because it's hard to want to promote the school whenever I'm trying to get them to, fight for them to actually give me any recognition. But again, that's resolved, and I'm going to use that Facebook page to share those pictures. It's been a long battle. Excuse my rambling here, but it's done now, and I thank all of you sincerely, all the people who supported me, that is. And there's been a lot of you. I've been very grateful for all the support and sincerely appreciate everybody who stood behind me on this and rooted for me. It meant a lot. It means a lot. And hopefully you'll continue to check out that Facebook page for the bear and check out the new stuff. And if you get a chance, see if they'll let you go by Central and check out the new display. The display both at the gymnasium and at the media center. That's it for my video today. Yay!